All right, folks. We got JDG versus Billy Gaming today. Apologies for the voice. Little shaking a little sore throat, but I'm pretty hyped about this one. We got two stacked teams over here. A lot of the Taiwanese players, Hongqiu, Junjia, moving over to JDG, and then on the BLG side, there's been a bit of a shakeup with Shun coming back, Viper moving in at AD carry, and then YXL being the new mid laner. But really curious about how the new AD carry has been playing, especially really early on, and seeing how they're gelling with their teams. But yeah, with that, I've clipped a couple of team fights that I thought were notable and wanted to kind of dissect it a bit further, see what's going on. And so we got pretty even games so far. I'm looking at Gala on the Aphelios, and we have Viper on his very good Yunara. So let's kind of see how this shakes out over here. Let me turn this down a little bit as well. Man, Sion is just a beefy boy. No one can really stop him. Jeez. He's just hanging out there. Talial is probably a little bit early. The Rel ulti holds all of the front line of BLG on the bottom left. So Gala basically gets to free fire pretty easily. YXL gets hit by the hook. Amazing hook. Oh. Don't really know what happened there. Let me zip it back. Looks like it just freezes. But from here, it just absolutely looks losing. I mean, the front line for BLG is just disintegrating. Bin has taken Sion out, but realistically, he probably would have needed to take out the Azir or the Aphelios just because there's just so much more damage on the BLG's or on the JDG side. And there's only so much Viper can do this early on. And Gala's already absolutely killer on the Aphelios with all those guns. So that was a pretty straightforward fight. Let's kind of move into another clip over here. We have a dragon fight coming up. BLG is first moving into it. We see it from an item perspective. They're not quite at 3 items for AD carry, and so they're probably going to have a really hard time punching through these tanks over here. But still, I mean, JDG has a pretty sizable gold advantage, and so we expect them to come on top, but we'll kind of see how they play it out. Shun looks like he's looping around, but you can kind of see this ward actually spots him out, so they'll be expecting him, or at least Gala should be expecting him. Gala sends out the Aphelios ulti, snares the Yunara, the Alistar. They're already focusing on to bin the Mordekaiser, but Mordekaiser pulls in Junjia, and you can see here they snap on the Azir. Viper's DPSing the Azir, but he gets shuffled in. That's not amazing. He probably should have flashed that. And on the back end, we have I don't know what happened to Aphelios here. So let's swing back another 10 seconds real quick. So Gala is standing right on top of the Mordekaiser. He's shifting his attention forward. Shun comes over here, knocks up the Aphelios, and at this point, oh my goodness, I actually don't know. He went from literally half HP to 0 HP. I wonder if Bin also hits him with the Q. Oh, maybe YXL hits him with the something there, but it's fun to be an AD carry. I would say Viper has a much easier time, and really he should have stayed alive here. And so it's not looking amazing from him. This would have been a really big turning point, given that he had the flash. And I guess this is the Demacia Cup, and so really maybe it doesn't matter too much for him, so he doesn't care. But he should really be showing out with, trying to prove that he's still got it because he was not looking so good last year Worlds with HLE. All right, now we're moving to a slightly new team fight. I mean, they're still in the game. BLG is still definitely in the game. They're shredding this Baron buff. They have Alistar on the flank. Everyone's funneling through the bot side, and so there's a bit of desperation trying to contest this little guy, this little Baron, I should say. Gala steps up really far, trying to get an angle with his ulti. He's not really going to get anything. They're pretty far away from one another. He hits Viper, gets some chunk damage on him. On is like in an absolutely beautiful spot. This is probably gonna win them the team fight right here. Yeah, Gala basically disintegrates. Couldn't have seen that one coming. And man, yeah, I want to see what happened. Were they just like they're probably just staring at Viper, trying to kill him, and Honkyu almost one taps him. The Zir champion is crazy. Maybe it should just be a Zir review, really. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. So setting up this, we see that JDG is the one starting up the Baron. They're actually down gold now, and so looking at how BLG is stacked up, we see that the 4 members are kind of. I don't love Viper's positioning, given. I mean, what is he gonna do? Like, he's just gonna walk up and get absolutely rocked. Is like kind of my assumption on what's gonna happen here. Bin is falling behind, so he does have someone coming here, but they're a little bit late, and so they're probably gonna be forced into a pretty bad situation here. Jinjia gets the Baron. We see that Talia sends in the ulti, splitting the map a little bit, but Gala already has like 10 chakrams on his little white gun, and so he's already on to Viper as well. YXL is coming in. He's probably going to try to stun, do whatever he can to Gala, really. And we'll see how this plays out. Viper, wow. Okay, Viper, he was doing work on him, but I don't really know what happened to him. YXL comes roaming in. I wonder if Bin should have been closer to Viper, but man, he absolutely demolishes him with the white guns. His attack speed goes faster as he's closer to the enemy, and so really heads up thinking by Gala. Pretty impressed by that. I mean, he almost takes out YXL like so single-handedly as well. So that is just the power of the 5-item or nearly full build Aphelios. My goodness. Cool, let's move on to the next moment. I mean, at this point, JDG has all the control in the world, but gold-wise, the 2 teams are pretty close. I actually am trying to think about scaling. I mean, yeah, it's from a scaling perspective, I think the JDG side with the Azir is just absolutely favored, the unkillable the unkillable Scion. And so this should be largely an easy one for JDG at this point. But, you know, Viper's an amazing player. We'll see if he's able to do it. So we got some pretty good damage from the Aphelios ulti that comes in. We see Viper. I want to focus on him real quick. He's been kind of pulled around over here. And he's running just onto the Aphelios, but he just doesn't have the damage to do it. And I guess I don't know who won today, but before this, but I guess Aphelios is pretty favored. He likes those odds. And so, yeah, I think game 2, feel free to watch the highlights. I'm happy to follow as well. But it was not really an AD carry game for the most part. Well, it was more of like a lethality, like poke Jhin, poke Varus kind of a game. So a little bit less interesting from an AD carry positioning perspective, and so I won't go through that. But if there's interest in going through that, let me know in the comments, and we can chat through that. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed the LPL gameplay here. I know that I have a lot of fun watching it, and so yeah, I'll keep doing this as the games come out and the season gets a bit more interesting. So yeah, thanks everyone. Have with this being on Christmas, have a Merry Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.